Good morning, students. I hope you all are fine and taking care of yourself. So, students, in our previous classes, we have discussed about soil erosion and what are the factors responsible for soil erosion. Now, today, students, we will be discussing about soil conservation. That how can we conserve our soil? How can we protect the soil from being washed away or from blown away with the strong winds? So, children, prevention of soil erosion is called conservation of soil, or the methods which we use to conserve soil will be comes under soil conservation. You all know very well, students, the soil which we see around us takes thousands of years to form. It takes thousands of years to form few inches of soil. So this fertile soil is too much precious as it is also one of the important natural resource. So how can we conserve this soil? So student, we can conserve soil from being eroded by several steps, by following steps, that is afforestation, crop rotation, or we can say cover crop, terrace farming, building dams, shelter belts, embankments, which is also known as building bunds, and Van Mahotsav. So children, we can protect our soil, we can prevent soil erosion by all these following methods. So let us discuss these methods one by one. You know very well, students, how soil erosion occurs. Whenever a land gets converted into a barren land, then it exposed to wind and water. It exposed to sunlight and heat also. That is why it get dry faster and all the moisture evaporate faster and the land becomes dry. So this soil can easily blow away with the wind and can easily wash away with the flowing water. So student, if we grow crops, if we grow any kind of vegetation, then the soil remains fertile and it will not convert into a barren land. So how can we make our soil fertile? By growing plants on it. Yes children, if we grow plant, if we grow any kind of vegetation, whether it is grasses, whether it is crops, so these plants make the soil fertile and it will not allow soil to blow or wash away with the help of by wind or water. So this we can plant trees, we can plant grasses by two methods, that is afforestation and reforestation. So children, afforestation is the process of planting trees on barren land such as hills or slopes, and reforestation is the another method of planting trees in a forest which has been destroyed earlier by some reason. So student, if you are planting trees in any region, in any area, in any land, then it will be known as afforestation. But if we are growing plants in a forest of same type which has been destroyed earlier because of any reason, then it will be known as reforestation. So basically we can define reforestation in other words also. Reforestation is a systematic attempt to revive a damaged forest region. Reforestation is done mainly by planting trees that naturally grow in the forest region. A successful reforestation revive a forest which has been damaged. Student, you might have seen that so many forests get destroyed by forest fire or some other activity. So if we can revive the forest by growing the same type of plants, same type of trees, then it will be known as reforestation. Now let us discuss another methods of soil conservation. So the second method of soil conservation is cover crops. Children, you might have seen that farmer, after growing one crop, farmer remains the field uncultivated for few months. Then after, farmer grows another crop in the another season. Then after cultivation, after harvesting of the crop, he again leave the field uncultivated. Then he do this process in the continuity. He grows one crop, then leave the field for few minutes, then grows another crop. So in between this time period, the soil, the farmland remains uncultivated. And you know very well, whenever farmland remains uncultivated, whenever no vegetation is there on the field, then field will expose to the heat and sunlight. And the field will get dry. You know very well, student, if the field will dry, then it will convert into the barren land. The field will convert into barren land, and the soil of the barren land can easily blow away or wash away with the surfaces. So to prevent this activity, what should we do? We should grow some small plant, we should grow some grasses or pulses, so the field will not convert into a barren land. And these crops which are grown to prevent soil erosion is known as cover crops. So we can grow some grasses and pulses to prevent our farmland, to prevent the soil from the farmland. Okay, so now student, let us go to the another method of soil conservation, that is terrace farming. You know very well, or if you have been to the hill station, that you might have seen a student. In hill station, the hills are basically in the form of slopes. So if farmer grow crops on the slopes, then all the fertile soil will wash away with the rainwater. So whenever there is a raining, then all the rainwater takes all the fertile layer along with it. So farmer will not be able to grow crops if the fertile layer will be washed away. So farmer, to grow crops, farmer convert the slopes into steps. As you can see in this picture, students, to grow crops on a hilly region, farmer convert the slope into the steps. So when rainwater goes on the first step, it get absorbed by soil, it will absorb by some plants, then after it will go to the another step. So these steps reduce the flow of the rainwater. So the rainwater is allowed to absorb by the soil as well as by plants. So this way farmer grows crops on the hills. And this type of farming is known as terrace farm, and such type of farms are known as terrace farm.